We're professionals.
There it is. Yeah.
Hello and welcome to another Woodshop podcast with Mike Coffey of Coffey Custom Builds, Daniel Dunlap of Daniel Dunlap Woodworks, and Peter Kapar of Petrie's Workshop. You can find us all as well as the podcast on Instagram and YouTube.
Welcome to episode 133 of another Woodshop podcast, where I ask you guys, what do Huskies and our guest have in common? They both love to shed. She's been making incredible DIY content out of her shed, showing us how to do pro-level work in any size space. It's open season on AWP, boys. The DIY huntress, Sam Raimondi, is here.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Wow, that was
Good,
like the most
Pete. That was
legit
good.
intro. That was awesome.
All right.
That was
Pete-
dope.
I've been
Pete is
practicing
a-
all day.
Oh man, in front of the mirror. Pete's such a good hype man. He's so good at this. He's pro. This is like
I
Did
his
you like my
Okay.
dad
one-
joke? Was it good?
Yeah,
The
that was
Huskies?
good. It was good.
Because
It
she
was
has
good.
Great.
the Huskies.
Yeah, just get
Can
the
I just
husky.
like hire you to be my hype man? Can you just follow me around and hype me up? all
I'm
the time?
telling you,
Let's
Pete,
go.
Pete needs to monetize his hype abilities. It's good. He needs to figure out how to monetize that.
Seriously.
Separate stream of
I'll just set
revenue.
up a
Hey,
cameo.
yeah, listen. Like Pete just said, Sam is joining us from DIY Huntress. We're really excited to talk to Sam. It's always fun talking to Sam. She's great. So, but before we do any of that, we're going to talk about our patrons. Big thank you to our patrons for helping sponsor this show. You guys are great. We really appreciate you so much. Thank you for everything you guys do. Also, thank you to our other sponsor. Just kidding. We don't have another sponsor this week. It's just the patrons. So, anyway,
It's anyone
Pete,
supporting our Etsy shop to buy some dope AWP
is that
shirts.
still a thing?
It is.
We still have one?
Yeah, we sold like several single-digit shirts this year. Let's go.
Wow. We should probably discuss
AWP
like
merch.
maybe talk about that every once in a while. Maybe once more than every 3 quarters or so.
Go pick up some
Like-
merch for grandma.
Yeah.
Not
So
gonna
grandma
lie.
love.
I was hoping that
Please
you guys
don't.
had a really random sponsor. You guys be like,
Oh, that would be great.
thanks
Yeah.
to like Kraft mac and cheese.
Kraft mac and cheese. Dude,
Dude, I
have the
wish.
Blue Box Blues. Yeah, we'd be rolling in that Kraft money. Are you kidding me? That'd be amazing.
Oh God,
I was like bracing myself for impact.
I wish
I
we
was
had
so
sponsors like
excited.
My dream would be like Hellman's Mayo or something.
Oh,
How do we get
why
that
do you
sponsor?
always say that? You're always saying my dream is Hellman's Mayo. No, anyway, Pete, do your thing. Ask her your questions. Make it
Oh.
weird.
I'm
Make
gonna
it
change it up
weird.
this week. Sam, what is your villain origin story? You're clearly the most evil woodworker out there. Who hurt you to make you the way you are? Go.
um, who hurt me? My dad hurt me when he said that I needed a job in the summer as a teenager. And then
That's
he forced
rude.
me to go to job sites with him. He forced
Wow.
me to learn woodworking.
What a monster.
Oh,
Now I just build everything.
Yeah.
But no, that's really my origin story. My dad was like, you can't just sit home and be a lazy teenager. Please do something with your life. And then brought me to job sites, taught me how to use a bunch of tools. And yeah, then I started a woodworking business in college. And here we are, baby.
And then you became an influencer. That'll show you, Dad.
Yeah, right.
That's
Got my PhD in psychology. And now I'm on YouTube full time.
messes with your brains. There's a secret message in every one of our pieces of content, just so you guys know.
A subliminal message in every single one.
You
Let's
gotta
kind of talk
watch real
about that,
close.
Sam. Let's talk about your past life and what you did and how long you did that for. Because I think it's important. I mean, you talk about that in your content, but I mean, the people here listening to this, I mean, really, you were a psychologist, right?
Yeah.
At,
So, yeah,
at
so
a school. I mean,
Out of
it's
school. Mhm.
during a time when kids were dealing with COVID. I mean, it was. I mean, you and me have talked about this, but it's got to be a nightmare dealing with like kids who don't know how to socialize now because they were stuck at home for doing school from home. I mean, it's got to be really tough.
It definitely was like so I worked in a school for 5 years. I was going on my 6th year, but yeah, during the pandemic it was just like a weird time. It was a weird time for them and a weird time for us because it was kind of one of those things where we're all going through this crazy time together. And so like trying to navigate their things and my colleagues' things was just like, it was a lot. But I don't know. I really love psychology. I love working with teenagers. I think teenagers are awesome, to be quite honest. But I was working like
Hot
80
take?
hours a week. Hot take. But yeah, I was working like 80 hours a week between the full-time job and the content, and it just was like taking a toll on my soul and my mental health and my physical health, and I needed to make a change. So I took the leap because I just feel like if I don't try, you never know. And it's
I
been
mean,
cool
you'll always
so
have your
far.
PhD, right? I mean, so you can
Exactly.
always go back to that.
Well, that's the thing too, is like, there are these exams I have to take and study for, which I have no desire to do at this point in my
Right.
life. But when I do,
But you could.
and like that's my goal. My goal is to do the content and like still practice psychology, but just not do it at an 80-hour a week pace anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Like a private practice thing?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
So does
That's
the
cool.
D in DIY stand for doctor?
That would be great. If
Dr.
I had
IY
if I had
Huntress?
the foresight to think about that one. Like,
Pete, you're
Dr.
fired.
Doctor it
DIY.
yourself.
Doctor it yourself.
Doctorate yourself. That's what
there's
the
a new
internet
show
is all
title.
about. Yeah.
Wait, are you a doctor?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have my PhD
she
in
is.
psychology.
Fancy.
Yeah, I do. 9 years of school. That's what I'll get. Yeah.
Awesome.
It
What?
reminds me of that old Tommy Boy line. Yeah, lots of people go to college for 7 years. They're called doctors.
Exactly. If you're like, oh, like you have your PhD, I'm like, yes, I was one of those people who was like, I'm gonna go to school for almost a decade.
And now look at you slinging 200,000 subs on YouTube plus 200,000 plus. I mean,
Wild.
you're
I
over
don't
that
know.
now, right?
I like don't know why so many people want to hang with me on YouTube. I'm very grateful for all of them, but I watch my own videos and I'm like, why does anybody watch this?
Fair. At least you can look at yourself and be like, I'm not, at least you don't turn into like an insufferable monster. That's really good to become like grounded and like think of yourself that way, I think.
I don't know. I'm telling you, like, I'm editing a video right now and I'm watching it back and I'm like, what? Like, what? This is horrible. Why is anybody subscribing to this? Like, why are you choosing to put yourself through watching this?
There's a lot of people out there that got a lot of weird fetishes. I'm just gonna.
It's
There's
short
a
girls
lot of
who
ways
build
to make
things.
money.
How was the transition? I mean, I guess, how did the transition go from the full, the corporate job, I guess, the 9 to 5 job, to content full time compared to how you thought it was going to go?
I thought it was going to be so much easier. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing I'm finding is this is like it's a habitual thing because I've done this now for like 5-6 years, but I'm finding I don't feel the most productive until like 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon, because that's when for the past 5-6 years I've been coming home and like starting on my side hustle. And so I'm like, great, I'm gonna wake up early, I'm gonna get so much done, I'm so productive. And then like next thing you know, it's 4 o'clock and I'm like, right, I answered one email today and I don't know where the rest
Why
of the
am
day
I
went,
still in my pajamas?
right, exactly. I'm like, what is happening? But but that's been the biggest thing, is like I thought it was going to be so much easier. I thought I would get so much more done, and then I'm still kind of just in that mentality of my brain is just still hardwired to want to be productive in like the late hours of the day.
Well, I mean, as long as you're productive at some point, that's really all that matters.
Yeah, I will say
that's
the
really all that matters.
one great thing is I actually have like a day off. Like I'm actually able to take like a Sunday off now. Like that never happened. I don't
Right.
know what having a Sunday off is like, but just even having a day off now has been so great. Like I'm like, wow, I actually sleep. Like it's awesome.
It's super important to have at least one day off.
Yeah.
That was my goal when I took my business full time, was that I need a day off, and I didn't do that for like the first year or I guess maybe a little less than that. Yeah, about the first year. I didn't really take any days off, but now it's really important to at least get the one day off. It's just really important to have a day of rest. So
quite frankly, I feel like it's super important to take at least 4 days off. You should try that.
You want to do 4 days
The
on, 3
Dunlap
days
experience.
off,
Yeah.
or
I like your style.
4 days off.
4
Maybe
days off,
5.
3 days on.
2 days
You're my
on,
boss.
5 days off. Can't figure out why you're behind schedule.
So like
It's a
what
nightmare.
The
speaking of
mystery.
your schedule, like what does your schedule look like? Is every day kind of the same, or it changes up depending on what you're working on?
Okay, so like right now it's tough because I'm still catching up on things that I didn't have time to do when I was still juggling a full-time job. So I feel like my goal is to hopefully for 2023 be like, all right, it's time to be caught up. But I don't know, like, what does caught up mean? Like, what is that? I don't even know if that's
It's
a real
never a
life
thing.
thing.
Nah, it's not a thing.
You never catch up.
No, never, right? So I would say like I have tried to be like, okay, Mondays are my computer days, catch up on like emails, figure out all that stuff.
Wait, how are you putting ketchup on emails?
Yeah, it's a talent. It's a talent.
Oh God.
Have you
Sorry.
tried mayo?
Super hard.
It's
You mean your
pronounced mail.
sponsor? Are you plugging your sponsor right now?
That
Hellman's.
crap. Hellman's mayonnaise.
Use DDWW for 20% off on your next Hellman's purchase.
Yeah, use the code at Walmart.
Yeah, right.
Ma'am, listen, I have a code. I don't know where to type it in.
So Monday's your computer day.
Monday's a computer day. That's just like last minute voiceover stuff, email stuff, all the stuff that we all hate doing, you know. And then the rest of the week is I really try to get partial points of a project done, upload stuff if I can try to get ahead that way, whatever. But most times I'm like snacking more than I ever have before. I'm binging more
Bro,
true
Same.
crime podcasts. Like, I don't know.
why do you think
there's
I've
just, like-
gained 45 pounds?
right, like, but
Full
like
time.
there's like what, like more time during the day. I'm like, all this time is just filled with me standing in front of the fridge eating.
And what's your
Shredded
favorite
cheese and
go-to
mayo.
snack? Shredded cheddar.
Shredded cheddar, baby, all day.
Shredded cheddar and Hellman's.
Exactly. But I think part of the thing is like it's been hard to adjust to being this mentality of coming home from work and then being like, okay, I only have 4 hours to get this thing done, and then hustling so hard for 4 straight hours to now I have a whole day. And I'm like, oh, like I have some downtime here and there. Like that's never happened. Like, so for me, I'm trying to remind myself like downtime is healthy. It's not me not working hard enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's absolutely
That-
healthy.
That's so hard to put into practice, though.
It's hard. And I know it's going to take some time, especially coming from somebody who literally couldn't sit on a couch and watch a 30-minute episode of something without being like, I'm wasting so much time, right? And so now that I actually have time to take a lunch break or eat breakfast.
Have you watched Wicked Tuna, though? I mean, I can sit there for 4 or 5 hours and watch Wicked Tuna.
I'm telling.
I think
could
there
watch
needs to be a
some
middle
freaking
ground, though, Dan.
TV.
I think there needs to
ground
be
is
a
the
middle
nap.
ground between
The middle ground is the nap.
middle ground between like not giving yourself a break and only giving yourself breaks. I think there is really no, like it's really good perspective though, like because I'm bad about that. Like I never let myself, if I sit for more than a few minutes, I'm like, you're lazy. What are you doing? Get back to work. You have stuff to do. So it is really important to make. That's not healthy. That is really unhealthy, and it's really unhealthy to be that way. So it's really good to make sure you're making time for your mental health. Honestly, it really becomes mental health.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's kind of like a little advantage I have is having that perspective of working in a mental health field of kind of understanding the importance of boundaries and understanding the importance of like just reframing your day a little bit. But yeah. I mean, I'm at this point where I've accepted that if my productive day is 10 o'clock in the morning to like 5 or 6 o'clock at night, cool. Like that's my productive day, right? And
But you did it. Yeah.
But I did it right. And like that's been a hard change for me because it used to be I'd wake up at 6 in the morning and I'd go to my first job and then I'd work my second job till midnight, right? And it's been a weird adjustment.
9 to 5 and 5 to 9.
Heck yeah.
Unfortunately, like now it's like that's how it was for me too. When I was at my old job and doing this, I would get up at 5, 6 in the morning, go to work all day, come in, and then I work till super duper late at night. Now somehow my job has become I get up super early in the morning, then I work all day, and I still work super late into the night. So now I got to figure out like how to adjust like the business around that and hiring more people and bringing in more help. It's just like a constant struggle,
Well, that's
especially when
the
you're
thing.
growing something new.
I don't think a lot of people realize when you go full time, it's not like you're doing the same amount of work you were doing before. You take on more work, therefore your time becomes more involved in the thing that you became full time on.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
I mean-
I love it more than anything I've ever done too. So it's really hard. It's really easy to
Because
slip
you're
into,
passionate
like-
about it.
this
It
is
feels
what I
like
love
less
doing.
less work than work was because it's something that
stressful,
you're very
but it's
passionate
my
about.
stress now.
But it's
not
my
someone
stress,
else's stress
exactly,
who's
yeah.
like running down my, like barking down my neck, trying to get it stuff done.
That's what I'm saying. It's so hard to turn it off. And Mike, like not to call you out, but I see you when we're on vacation or go to an event or something, like you have a great time, but if there's downtime, I see the wheels start spinning and you're like, I got this thing that I got to work on. I got to do this thing. And like, we're all the same. Like if we start slowing down, we're like, I got to take care of that thing when I get back, or I got to work on this, or now I just talk to this person and I want to do this thing different with my business. It's hard to turn it off. So I think it's nice that you have a background in psychology and kind of getting, behind what's actually happening in your head. So
it's a
most people don't have
curse.
that. We just crash and burn sometimes, unfortunately.
Well, and I think too, and I mean, like, I don't know. I know that this is just the general vibe, but we're in this era right now of social media always making us feel like we're not doing enough, and that like there's this hustle, and then even if you take 5 minutes to scroll through your feed, you see everybody else just like killing it, and you're like, what am I doing with my life, right? And so like that's hard too, because a lot of times you're just like, man, I'm not working hard enough, and you get yourself into this mental rut. But like the reality is we're just creative people, and we have creative brains, and they're firing all the time because we're really passionate about what we do, and that's okay. But at the same time, we have to balance that with reality, and the reality is we're humans, and we can only do so much sometimes, and social media isn't always depicting things in real time anyway, right? And so like you have to have that wherewithal to say, okay, I know that my 40-hour work week is going to look like this, or I've done all I can do this week, and like that's enough. And that's a really hard thing to do.
You have to remind yourself that everybody that you see on social media, that is their highlight reel. That is not their week. That is not their day-to-day. That's their highlight reel. So you can't compare yourself to that.
Yeah. And it's funny because it's like, I don't know if you guys have been getting these emails from these social media platforms being like, how to avoid burnout.
Yes.
And it's like, you guys are causing the burnout. Like, what do you mean how to avoid burnout?
You're the problem.
You're the problem. Like, you just keep incentivizing people posting and posting and posting.
Oh gosh, I can't believe I'm going to say
posting.
this. That's that new Taylor Swift song. Hey, it's me.
Yeah.
I'm the
I'm the problem,
problem.
it's me.
Yeah.
The theme song for this podcast.
But on the flip side, though, I will say I definitely have gotten so many more projects done recently because I am full time, and that has been so rewarding to like be like, oh wow, I'm getting 4 videos done a month now instead of 2. Like that's been really cool.
That's awesome.
How do you? Well, not to get like jump the conversation a bit, but how are in terms of your cadence, like putting out your videos? Are you seeing improvement from 1 a week, or what are your thoughts on a cadence for release schedule?
So I mean, part of me so I was doing 2 videos a month for a long time just because that's what I was able to handle. And then I had a few weeks in the summer where I was getting out, 1 a week, basically just because I was hustling and catching up on so much. But I don't know, like I just like, it was there, but I didn't see like a huge difference. And then mentally, emotionally, physically, I was kind of like, I prefer the every other week because it gives me a chance to not feel so pressured.
I feel like I hear that from everyone who does it. I mean, everyone who does it, I feel like the every 2 to 3 weeks seems to be the number that everyone likes.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know. That's just been like what works for me personally. I don't know. I just feel like I also put out better content, and I'm prouder of my projects when I allow myself to take more time with it rather than rush it out for the sake of a video.
Yeah, for sure. That makes a ton of sense. You're putting out a product instead of rushing out a product, I guess. And it makes a ton of sense. Cool. Well, why don't we jump into what's on my bench? Does that sound good to everyone?
Yeah, let's start with that. Because we have some good questions for Sam.
Let's do this first. Oh, that's our little
What's
jingle song there. That's Dan singing. So, Sam, what's on your bench? What you got going on?
Well, I wish I had a bench, but I don't yet. But
it's metaphorical. It's a
what's in your heart?
Oh.
That is
idea.
a bench.
What's in your
Well,
heart? Diabetes.
Diabetes.
Oh God.
I was gonna say love, but okay.
Oh, right.
Type 2 diabetes.
Diabetes.
Buddhist.
Blood. I don't know.
Blood.
I'm starting a really cool built-in project next week that I'm excited about. It's going to be like an entertainment center, but for a home gym. So it's going to have these like cool cubbies and storage things and lockers. And I don't know. I'm just like really craving using actual woodworking tools. So I think that's why I'm the most excited about it.
Yeah, that's cool. It's cool when you get to do things you want to do. But I mean, you've been doing a lot of stuff around your house. I mean, I guess since we haven't really dove into that, this is what's on my bench, but
what's in your life?
What's in your house?
Talk about the house and how that all came about, and like where you, I mean, kind of give the quick and dirty elevator pitch on you.
I love quick and dirty things. Okay, so
welcome to AWP.
Same Z's.
Hello, my name's Daniel. How are you doing? The quickest and the dirtiest.
Kayla.
Oh God.
Oh, that was weird. Okay.
I love it.
Sam, please.
Quick and dirty.
This whole episode's being scrubbed.
Like that's it. Delete.
It's just Dan. Dan did it. Dan ruined that. Dan ruined the internet.
Dan's gonna be like, sorry, I lost my recording. We can't publish this episode.
Sam, we'll just try again in 2 weeks around Thanksgiving.
I think we have a new show title of Contender, Quickest and Dirtiest.
So yeah, talk about the house and stuff.
Okay. So we were looking for a house forever, and then like the pandemic happened, and we all know the housing market went to like literal shit for everyone.
Right.
And then we got super lucky, and we stumbled upon someone who just like literally needed to sell their house, and they were like, we need to move like tomorrow. And we were like, okay, we'll buy your house. So lucky. And so yeah, so we bought the house a year ago. It is definitely a fixer-upper, which is right up my alley.
Right.
My husband's not so stoked about living in a construction zone, but I'm like, my happy place. Let's be real.
Afraid of a good time.
Like, yeah, come on. This is awesome. Living with no kitchen for 6 months is amazing.
Sounds great.
That's nice, honey. Shut up and hold the camera.
Whatever. I'm like, just Uber Eats, like our whole salary. We'll just go there. It's fine. You're welcome, Uber Eats, for the stock price.
Oh, I see why you quit your job after you did the kitchen. That makes sense.
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've just been renovating my little heart out in this house. And it's coming along, and right now I'm actually wrapping up my kitchen reno, which is great. I cannot wait to get content out for that, because last time I shared an update was a year ago and I demoed it. So I'm really excited to share the rebuild at some point. But yeah, so I've just been doing a lot of home improvement stuff, and now I get to finally start doing some woodworking stuff in the house. I'm really excited about that. Yeah.
Very cool. Cool. Yeah. You got any other things on your bench? I'm throwing up air finger quotes right now, but is there any other things on your bench right now? In your heart?
I'm actually hoping to my heart. I'm actually hoping to start my garage shop makeover.
Oh, sweet.
Next month. Yeah, I'm really excited. Yeah. It's double the size of my old shed shop, so I will take it. Yeah.
Twice the height.
Awesome.
It's
how many shops do you need?
I need all the shops. Wait, but now people are gonna know how short I am, because I'm gonna actually look like my real size in this garage with actual ceilings.
How big is
you should put in like a 3-foot drop ceiling just to make it look like it.
Yeah, right. I love it.
Keep the illusion alive.
Yeah, like on a set, like I'll do like a faux ceiling. And then it's like,
excuse me, can I order the table saw but in a mini version?
Do you have this in Sam-sized version? I ask whenever brands are like, "Hey, what size do you wear?" I'm like, "Baby Gap." Like that's just
Baby Gap.
Have you heard of an American Doll?
That's hilarious.
So the shed was 144 square feet. The garage is like.
That's how big my CNC is.
That's how big yours is. Oh, I love it. Yeah, the garage is about 300 square feet, so it feels like the Taj Mahal.
That's awesome. Right,
Yeah,
you're just like royalty now. That's
I'm
cool.
like, oh my
That's
god,
awesome.
it's a mansion in here.
So you're putting in a loft, right?
You're gonna crush that.
I haven't decided. I don't know. Part of me kind of wants to like keep the ceiling super tall, like I have in the shed shop, but then the other part of me is like, why would you do that? You can actually store things in your ceiling now. Just do it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know.
true.
I got some planning to do.
And a throne.
I want to throw that in there. pulleys with ropes to like lower tools down, and you can pull them up and put them into the ceiling when you're not using
No,
them.
like a bike, but it's a saw.
No. Like you joke, but I actually literally have drafted up plans for that for like my
Amazing.
CNC to come down
I want
from
you.
the ceiling.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I want you to do like what? That's gonna be so good. A CNC coming down. I love that idea. That's great.
Yeah, no, like
You should
I'm
do-
dead serious.
I love it. No, that's great. I can't wait to see that. That's super awesome. That's really gonna be cool. Cool. Well, Daniel, what about you?
Yes, y'all.
What you got? What you got, girl? Get us those deets.
Well, it's been a hard push to get everything done for the holiday craft show I got coming up. We have a lot of things that need to finish. Be finished. Sorry, words are hard. A lot of things that need to be finished. We have a lot of products and stuff that are just like sitting around and just waiting to be like sanded and finished. So I'm actually going to be spending all day tomorrow doing that. We have clocks and phone docking stations and cutting boards and just a bunch of little things that you would take to a craft show. And then
Which is when is the craft show?
Saturday. So if
Well,
you're
like in
listening
2
to
days.
this when this
Oh,
comes
shit.
out, it had already happened.
Godspeed.
Yeah,
How
I
many
have to
items you got to finish up, dude?
like 25.
Oh my
You
god,
got
Dan.
this. That's
You're never
cakewalk.
gonna-
You're good.
I have until tomorrow at
Did
3
you hear
p.m.
Dan talking about naps earlier, Sam?
But
He
you
does
have-
3 a day.
Hang on, but in defense of Dan, he does have some stock of items already.
I do have a lot of
It's
stock
not like
of
he's
items.
starting out from scratch. So
I'm
I'll
not
give him this
starting
one.
from scratch.
Yeah.
I
It's
have
just
some advice.
I want to
Just-
get a bunch of stuff done.
Sam advice.
Um,
Wait.
Just
What?
skip one episode of Wicked Tuna tonight. And then finish it next week.
Why you got to come at me hard like that? I mean,
That's solid advice, though, Dan. I mean, you
Such
got to
a
listen to
sad-
that. Maybe
Yeah.
just miss one episode. Maybe
Yo.
one episode of
Yo.
Wicked
Just
Tuna.
one. Just
I need
one.
this for
You
my
can do
mental
it.
health, okay? So
if I, don't
you
have, if I don't have my Wicked Tuna, I'll go crazy.
just back off. I think I talked about the doors last week. That's done. That's
All of them?
actually no. All the interior doors are done, okay? And I've talked in the past about this large, very large
Potato
entry
chip?
door that potato chipped on me, right?
Yeah.
So it's been in my shop for I think a
It's
year
now
now.
25 cutting boards for this market fair.
You're not far off, Mike. So I need to try to repair this thing, and I think we glossed over this in one of the episodes
Mhm.
when Mike was actually here.
Right. I decided to show up finally.
It's because I'm here, just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's
So I took that
can't
door.
miss.
I took that door and I cut it down into 6-inch strips, and it's like out of the way right now. And I'm gonna have to. What my plan is to remill it and reflatten everything, and then put it back together and see if I can salvage it.
Can I give you one other thing of advice for that?
Oh, please do. I'm all ears.
After you mill it, stack and sticker that thing and let it sit for about 5 days.
Oh yeah, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not
all
that
right.
stupid.
I didn't
You're
say
talking to
stupid,
Dan. It's gonna sit for a week whether or not you told him to do it.
but stack and sticker it.
right.
Don't throw it on.
When you
top
say
of,
sticker, do I need to get maker stickers and
Daniel
put them on the
Dunlap
side,
yeah,
or
stickers.
what?
Daniel Dunlap stickers underneath. Oh my god! Just throw Hellman's mayonnaise jar lids underneath them.
That's not a bad idea. It'd be
Not
pre-finished.
terrible.
Please make sure you tag them in this episode because you deserve a sponsorship.
Yeah, they
after
do, they
this.
need to be dropping some pretty pennies on us.
I like that idea. Yo, Hellman's, hit us
Yeah.
up.
Yo,
Hellmann's.
what's up, Hellmann's? Their people are.
Yeah, so I
listening,
I cut that door down. It's actually out of the way. It was so wild. It actually felt like the shop had a ton of extra space, and so much
Because you
of
got
the
rid of one workbench by cutting the door up.
well, that door is 8 foot by 42 inches. I mean,
it
that was
on
a
table?
large
Were you doing
workspace.
stuff in front of, like on top of it, or was it?
Oh
leaning?
yeah, I had it on two. Have you seen those little burro sawhorses? They're like made
Yeah.
out of wood. They're
Yeah.
One's from Home Depot, like $12 each or something.
well, dude, they're like $35 now.
Oh,
Inflation.
are they?
It's crazy. Anyways, it was sitting on a couple of those because those are the beefiest sawhorses I can find. And So we cut it up, and I moved the sawhorses, and I cleaned that space all out because there was dust under there. It was like it must have been like 8 inches deep dust.
It's been a year worth of dust. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, got that all out of there, and it was like, oh my gosh, so much room for activities. You know, that scene in Step Brothers.
And then the bunk
Stepsisters.
bed came crashing down.
Oh my God, Dale, are you okay?
There's so much blood. Don't even get me started. I could quote that movie and Anchorman.
Oh, you want to have a
Oh,
quote
I
off?
knew we liked you.
I think Mike could crush you. Mike is a Will Ferrell like groupie.
Yeah,
It's true.
every
I'm
trip
in
we
a
watch
glass
one
case
Will
of
Ferrell movie.
emotion.
We're gonna have a feral off, Sam. It's gonna be amazing.
At Workbench Conference, live
Yeah.
in person.
we're doing it
Like in
Yeah.
Sam Gold Ferrell. Actually, show title.
Sam goes feral.
God dang it, I gotta write that. Okay. Sam goes feral. I don't know how to spell feral.
doesn't matter. You're
Feral.
Too well sounds.
No, Ferrell.
I was
It
never
works
mind.
60% of the time.
every time.
Every time.
Every time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
It's illegal in 13 countries.
Sex
Yeah.
Panther. Everybody knows that one. All right. What was I saying? Oh
Doors.
yeah,
I'm
cut down
burying
the
you
door.
alive.
Cut down the door. But since we had so much extra space, Isaiah and I, we were trying to come up with another video to make, right? And I never come up with ideas for videos like in advance. It's always like the day of. Okay, what are we filming today? And I'm like, I don't know. So he comes in and he's like, what are we filming today? And I'm like, well, I feel like we have a hole in our heart here. We need a bench. So I made a bench out of a bunch of MDF that I had left over from all those stupid interior doors. So that's exciting.
Interior crocodile.
So
I got you, Mike.
this bench video will probably be out in a month or two. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, that's been my week. Not super exciting, but fun nonetheless. And
And an
a lot
Etsy
of-
and bow ties.
Oh yeah, Etsy. Dude, Etsy is so bonkers right now. I've shared with you guys, I'm on track to demolish any record that I had before. It's
Amazing.
so crazy. I'm going to be super like transparent right now. My Etsy is going to clear, if everything goes the way it's been going, my Etsy is going to clear 10K of revenue this month.
That's
Bonkers.
amazing.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Dude.
I just, my mind is blown, and I'm having a lot of trouble keeping up. Yes, I do watch a couple episodes too many of Wicked Tuna and Gold Rush now. Gold Rush is my new thing.
Oh, here we go. It's like 6 seasons.
Gold
of
Rush
that.
on Disney. Oh, not Disney Plus, Discovery Plus. That's a great show. I don't know if you've watched it. This guy's digging in the dirt.
I'm more of like a Storage Wars girl, but
Yo, I like that show too.
That
I
and
think
Murder
the
Mystery
problem
podcast,
is, Dan, that
right?
there's all the shows are the shows you like too.
Have you heard of the show
that
called?
one's good too.
Have you heard of the show called Breaking Bad? It's really great.
oh,
Amazing
classic.
Dolphins of the Pacific Southeast. I love that show.
Tell me more. Where can I watch that? Yeah. So, I've been busy. I haven't been coffee busy, but I've been busy nonetheless. I've been busy for Dunlap. And speaking of coffee busy, tell us about your week, Mike.
Hi. I was in Europe
Hey.
last week, so I'm back
Oh.
now. I was
How's
we're
my
talking about
mom?
this now?
She good?
You fancy?
No,
My parents good?
I can't talk. Yeah, your parents are good. They're
Oh,
very nice.
Europe
No,
is a very large place. I forget
can't
about
talk
that.
about specifically where I was, but I was in Europe and I was doing content with a brand. It
Yeah,
was very
sure. That's what they call the sketchy stuff that you secretively
Right.
can't talk about as content.
He went to
with a
see the
brand.
Craftsman HQ.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
fun. In East Berlin. No, I was out there. I got back and it was man, the guys held down the fort like crazy last week. We shipped out our first PO.
I was talking about us,
contract for-
Dan.
Oh no, you guys did a terrible job. The show was garbage.
Did you even
Sorry.
listen? We were.
I didn't
Oh, it was
listen.
so
Actually.
good.
After the
trash.
first after the first episode with Jackman, I was like, I'm not gonna listen to the second episode with Jackman. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure you guys did a great job.
Where do we submit our audition tapes to fill in?
This is it.
That's
You're
what I
on
wanna
it.
You
You
nailed
just
it.
did it. You're
You're
on
in
it.
the top
You're
five.
the next time. You're the next guest
Oh my
host.
god. Oh my god.
So-
I'm so honored. Get ready
Yeah.
for me. Let's go. Who's calling in sick? Someone call in sick. Let's go.
It'll probably be me. So-
It pays terrible,
Very
Sam, but we
realistic.
got you.
Yeah, yeah. No, I got back we got our first order, our first PO out for room and board. That was really awesome. Got that shipped, and then I got back Saturday, kind of hit the ground running. So I've been running really hard trying to get everything caught up. We have a lot right now. We have the next order of shelves for room and board. I just got the PO and contract for the coffee tables. We're doing 25 coffee tables a month for room and board. It's crazy.
Those are the redwood cookie coffee tables.
Yeah, the redwood cookies. Yeah, we're doing those. So
Bonkers.
contracts in for that. And so actually we're going to gather everything for that tomorrow. We're doing this lawyer lady I met through one of my contacts through my network. I'm doing this really sick custom live edge desk for her office. It's really dope. Like, I'm really pumped on it. We're doing it's this big live edge walnut desk with a waterfall, and I'm doing a custom cabinet that's live edge underneath it on the inside corner of the waterfall. It's gonna have this really nice door for her safe, because she practices law, so she has a safe that I assume is gonna have multiple guns in there.
So she keeps her
Fire
gats.
bandits. So, yeah, she keeps her cats, her Uzis. No, she's very nice. Really excited to do this job for this lady. So we're doing that, and then we got this massive countertop for this winery, which is going to be really sick. It's just this big giant cutting board. It's like
Would that be the Oak Leaf Winery by chance?
It is
Do they
not.
make the Walmart
It is
$2.96 a bottle?
Oak Leaf Winery.
Please stop ruining my story with this Walmart wine talk. No, it's a local winery called La Rive, and
that sounds more expensive than Walmart.
Means the
it's a-
Reeve.
It's a 60-inch by 8-foot countertop, all solid walnut, 8-quarter. It's sick. It's gonna be dope. So we're doing that right now, and then we've got the Monopoly boards, the custom Monopoly board boxes that we've been working on for a million years. Well, those are due. I gotta get those done like right away. So we're kind of like running overtime right now trying to get those done. So we got 55 of those we got going right now. We gotta get those done really by next week. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but gotta get those done by next week somehow. And then we got 45 more coming. And then what else we got going on right now? So those those grounding boxes.
Mhm.
So those grounding boxes we're doing. Some of them get shipped to around the world. Well, Customs does not like that they are a solid box that is completely sealed, and they smashed one open.
Ooh.
Oh no.
And found all the
Yeah,
magical stuff
they
inside?
want to know like what's inside, obviously, because it's Customs. So we have to redesign the boxes entirely for international shipping now. I mean, those are very, very expensive. That was a huge, expensive Customs nightmare. So not the crate. I mean, the actual product they smashed open with a hammer because they couldn't open it up. So
Yeah, because you're
those are-
sketchy and they knew
it looks sketchy.
So
Well,
are
they know
putting- you
I'm
have to put, like,
smuggling.
like a butt
It's
plug
be-
on it.
It's because I made the joke about the hostile organs, no, we're actually
You telling me
redesign-
Customs listens to the podcast? Hey,
Yeah, they're all about the podcast. Hey, customs guy Jerry. No, we're
Jerry
redesigning
Customs.
with Jerry Customs. We're Jerry's Custom Birdhouses. Is that a real account? I feel like it is. No,
Could be.
we're redesigning the whole top to have to be demountable on the top. So we're trying to figure out that. So the whole top's going to be a completely design change, and we're working on a new model right now too. So
I had to redesign
just
my
gotta-
top to be demountable. That's the only reason Kayla married me.
Is that going to be the show title now? Demountable tops with Sam. I don't think that's a good idea. personally.
It's a well,
Nope.
I don't
That'll
know.
get you guys a lot of subs you don't want. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
exactly.
And
Just
some
a bunch of-
doms.
just a bunch of thirsty dudes.
That's
I mean, most of our audience, that's most of our audience anyway. Thirsty dudes. No, we got so we got those, and he just placed another big order for those, like the biggest order of those we've gotten. So we're busy right now. So I think. Oh, also, Matt came on full time in the last couple of weeks. So I got Sean and Matt are both full time. So I've got this third guy. I'm probably gonna. I keep saying we. To me, I'm gonna need to look at this third guy. I think here probably mid-December or the first of the year. because I need someone who can just come in and sand all day long and is fine with that because I can't keep paying my guys to do that stuff.
That
His
sounds
name
like
is
a
Sandy.
horrible job.
It's
Did you
horrible. I
find
need
him
to
on the app called Sander?
Sand R.
Sandar. It's just Sandar. And then
Sorry, that's a
tomorrow
pre-show joke. Terrible
we're
joke.
delivering the that dining set that's been in my shop for far too long. It's that table, the L-shaped bench, and then 3 custom chairs. So that's
Oh,
out
with
here.
the upholstery.
Man, that upholstery. I hope that customer does not listen to this. It looks
Hey, Joe.
it looks so bad. Like I can't even believe that's what they wanted. Like, and they're like stoked on it too.
The work, just to clarify, the work is done well. It is
Oh no,
just a
it's
pattern.
great work. The
Yeah.
guy did a great work, and the furniture that we built is amazing. Like we did a really good job. Like I'm proud of all that. The combination of the two is garbage. It looks so
cannot-
bad.
Plaid and
Aesthetically.
walnut goes together
I
great.
cannot wait until they see it and they're like, we listened to your podcast.
Right, I know. We need the whole thing
Right.
redone. No, they're like, they like it though. You know what? That's all I care about. So that's the customer is happy. So they're happy. But I can't wait to get that out of here. It's huge, and we got these doors. We got this big door order we got to get done, and then I've got this project I'm so excited about. It's a possible project. It's 40 custom bar stools, like
Jesus.
walnut all the way up, walnut swivel with leather upholstered armrest and seat and backs. They're sick.
Oh
I'll
my
tell you guys
God.
about that job. I'll tell you guys about that job after because it's insane. Like I can't wait to talk. It's going into this old hotel that was built in like 1840, and I'll tell you about that after the show. But it's a sick project. I'm going up there tomorrow. We're meeting with Sean and I are meeting after the delivery. We're meeting with the owner of the hotel, and we're discussing that project. And man, I want that job so bad. And I'll tell you why. After
Mike,
the
you're
show.
always teasing secret projects.
It's not a
always
secret
teasing.
project. I just can't talk about the money part of it on the show. It's really
Don't-
inappropriate.
Okay, but like, so when do you like eat, sleep, or breathe?
He doesn't.
I don't do those things. Those
Do you
are for
even talk to Mike?
cowards.
Are you friends with Mike?
Yeah, no, there's not a lot of that stuff. But
Mike
no, we got
and I are polar opposites.
Oh, and I forgot to say, Peter, my cinematographer
what's up?
started this week. Like
Oh.
Peter, my cinematographer started this week, and
Oh.
I'm so stoked. He is so talented. Like so Peter, I don't know if I talked about it on the show or not, but Peter he's a cinematographer. He's been behind the camera for 10 years and then behind editing for 10 years. He's been in the film in the camera world for 20 years. He works on TV and movies and advertising, and he's just like a super talented guy, but he's also a furniture maker. And me and him met through Instagram 3 years ago. We've been trying to figure out how to make this work for years, for like him to come in and start editing content. And then we started talking about him filming the content. And then we finally came to an agreement on things. And he just started Wednesday, and we filmed the video on Tuesday. I don't know. One day this week he came in, we filmed the video. And then Monday he's coming back, and we're filming 2 videos on Monday. And then the week after that, we're filming 2 more. We're trying to get some stuff in the hopper so we're going to pace everything out in a 2 to 3 week sort of chill cadence. That's why I was asking that question specifically to you, Sam. But I think we're going to go with a 3-week cadence right now. And we're going to try to get a few videos in the hopper before we release everything. I kind of want to have everything kind of start hitting right around Christmas. We'll have the first video hit, and then we're going to have a 2 to 3 week cadence after that. So, and he's really good. Like he's doing the filming, all the editing, everything. And like he's going to shoot me the video, and I just post it to YouTube and get to finally grow my YouTube channel. I'm only at 10,000 subs. I need to get that thing growing really bad. It's been a long time, so I need to really get posting over there. So anyway, that's a huge thing that I'm really excited about. I'm excited to grow that finally. So we're just trying to figure out just trying to figure out like what the voice is going to be. Like we're working through like how we want things to be. Like the first video is just like a shop tour video, like so we can feel it out with each other. You know, it's like such a low impact video. We just don't know what that's going to be. So like, and I've never done one, and I have people ask me at least 4 times a week to give like a shop tour video, and it's kind of tapered down over the years because I just have never put one out, and I don't even know like how I do that filming it myself. So the way we did it is him just following me around, touring it.
It's awkward. You need to have someone, I think, is better when you have someone like following you.
It's
With
awkward.
B-roll.
Honestly, it was awkward having him follow me because I'm always talking to myself. Like I'm always by myself talking to the camera.
Just grab him by the chin, like the whole time.
Yeah. I mean, but like having him follow me around, I felt really weird. And we're walking around the shop, but after a little while, I got accustomed to it. Like I'm comfortable in front of a camera, but it was a new experience. But it was amazing because we did that for an hour. Because I mean, we went from the main shop over to the CNC shop into the spray booth and then the wood shed. We did all those things and covered that stuff. But then he spent an hour filming B-roll. Like he just we kept working, me and the guys kept working, and he's filming B-roll in the background doing stuff. So that was just going. And then he's like, hey, you have a drone, right? So I gave him my drone and he filmed a bunch of footage on the drone with the drone too. So it's good. I'm like really excited about this prospect, like of actually growing the YouTube channel finally. Like it's going to be sick. So, well, it may not be. I think it's going to be cool. Hopefully it does turn out that way. So we'll see. Anyway,
that's all that matters. As long as you think it's cool.
As long as I'm happy, that's all that matters. So anyway, lots of stuff going on right now, but it's a lot of good stuff. I'm really excited. So there's some other things going on, but I won't bore everyone. Let's jump into questions because we're running late in the show here. So
wait.
Hello, you missed someone.
Pete, how about your
Pete,
week?
Oh my God, I'm so sorry, Pete.
Oh,
So
Dan,
rude.
thanks for asking, Dan and Sam. Thanks, Dan and Sam.
rude.
That's so nice of you,
So
Dan and Sam,
rude.
to ask about my week. Get out of here. Jackman was way better than this.
I know, right? Jeez Louise.
Which, by the way,
Reality show.
Jackman was in a pre-show. If you guys want to see him, he actually joined the pre-show.
Hold
All
on,
right,
rewind. Dan, edit all this out. Pete, what about you? Oh.
It's all good. It's
Hold
fine.
on,
I have a forgettable face.
Oh, nothing. Son of a.
It's restarted from scratch.
No. Dan, you have to
I'll
put
keep
that
it
in
quick.
too.
Yeah, I know. That's why I wrote it down.
So I got into a craft fair that's there's a small farm. I think you guys saw it on a way in here locally. They kill it with their marketing, their branding. That place is packed Friday through Sunday every single weekend for most of the year. And then aside from that, they sell ice cream and regular farm stuff. And they have a zonkey. It's a half donkey, half zebra. Yeah, you guys didn't get to see it, but no, it's
illegal
legit.
in 13 countries.
It's illegal in
I don't know
13
how I
countries,
feel
but not in
about that.
Jersey, baby.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. It makes me really uncomfortable. I don't like the word zonkey at all.
Better yet, his name is Zulu. Zulu de Zonky. Yeah, that's right.
I'm
It's a
kind of
thing.
interested what a zonky burger would taste like.
Delicious.
Oh,
they
God.
sell them there. Yeah. He's
Why
got
is
a peg
Nebraska
leg.
like this?
I have
Because
so
a
many
donkey that
questions.
special, you eat one piece at a time.
You just carve it off as he's walking by.
Oh God, that's so dark. Anyways, this farm is doing their first ever holiday craft fair, and I was like, I have to be in this. So I applied, I got it. And usually for these things, they'll choose like one person in every genre. So they got, I guess I'll be the only woodworker. So I locked it
You were the
down.
only Polish guy?
I'm the only Polish guy.
I don't know what genre means. I assume
Big
it's a
Pete's
race thing.
Kabasi stand. Come on. So I'm pretty stoked for that, but that means the pressure is on. I have a bunch of cutting boards left over from the previous event, but I need to make, I'm in, just like Dan, I'm in like full make craft fair item mode, but I have 2 weeks to do it, unlike Dan, which is great. So love you, Dan. But
Well, I've had 3 weeks to do it, and I just kind of
big tuna. It's a big season. I get it.
Yeah.
huge tuna season right now.
Huge tuna.
You don't
season.
even know.
They're in season in Nebraska. So I'm getting ready for that. I'm super stoked for it. I've been working on a bunch of new designs for the holidays. I'm trying to throw some stuff up on Etsy. I got a couple of template orders already. I didn't even list the listings yet, but people have already ordered some acrylic templates. So I've been sending those out. I got to get those listings up. I'm trying to get another 10 listings up on Etsy before the holidays. Because unlike Dan, I haven't seen those numbers. He's the new expert, by the way. Just go talk to him if you need help.
I'm not an expert. I don't
Whatever
know
you're
what's
doing,
going on.
whatever you're doing works, Dan. That's all I'm gonna say. So Etsy's
I've said
been
it
doing
before,
great.
and I'll say it again: throwing wet noodles at the wall.
And you
I
know
have
what?
No idea.
They're sticking. They're al dente.
Poor
They're
Kayla.
sticking.
There's a lot of
Poor Kayla.
noodles sticking on the wall.
So I'm just trying to get a lot more items in, and I've been working on planning out some little projects because, like, for a while there, I kind of got soured on like making furniture. I didn't want to make furniture because I hated my old shop. It was too cramped and it was a shared space, and my parents always moved crap around, and it just was not fun to woodwork in there. So I haven't really made a lot of furniture, but we're starting to plan out some projects for the house, and I'm really getting excited to like actually do some stuff for the house. So very excited to do that. I put something in my shop that I've never truly had in my shop before, and that is a miter station. And for the first time, I can honestly say that my shop is finished. It is where I want it to be.
Lies.
I mean, there's always
you
upgrades.
say that now.
Nobody
that's not a
says
real
that,
thing.
Well, hang on.
Nobody
I-
says that.
I understand that there is now upgrades to be made all across the shop, but for the first time since I moved in a year and a half ago, I feel like now every corner of the shop is laid out how I want it right now. I'll say that right now. So
Next
I
week
do.
they're gonna ask what's on your bench. You're gonna be like, so
I got
remember
this
that
crazy
time
new
I
tool."
said-" Yeah.
Well, I can
100%.
tell you right now from the picture you sent us, your miter station doesn't have drawers.
It doesn't. No, that's the next thing. I
All
gotta
right,
add
you're
drawers
not
and stuff.
finished.
But
Yeah.
so in that miter station, I figured I
So
had
basically,
to
on
build,
your bench is you being a liar. We
I'm
get
a
it.
liar. I'm the world's biggest liar on 2 continents because we're big in Europe. But the reason I was like, I have to make this miter station is I finally got the king of miter saws. I got the Kapex, the Festool Kapex, and the hype is real. That saw, is it worth that much? Probably not, but it's
Yes, it is.
legitimately the best thing I've ever used. It is so
It's
accurate.
absolutely worth the money.
It probably is
In
worth
my
it. Yeah,
shop,
it is
it
worth.
is.
I paid it. It's worth the money. It's incredible.
Absolutely worth the money.
This miter saw
Is that what you tell yourself?
I'm worth it.
I tell myself that when I'm doing a $40,000 job and we're running production and it's perfect every single
Yeah.
cut. Yeah,
And when
I
I have
am.
to when I have to hit a couple pieces of quarter round on it once in a while, it's totally worth it. Yeah. So that thing deserved the throne. So I built it. I had these nice Formica tops from work, so I built it out. I'm super happy with that. I also made some room in the shop by selling a tool. So I had someone come up from all the way from South Carolina to get my laser, my old laser.
Whoa.
So that's sold now. It is gone.
That's good. Get that out of there. That's
And
nice.
Got it out of there. So I got a fast one on them. You know, like that piece of crap is gone. I'm kidding. It works. It works great. Idiots. No, it works great. We had loaded it into his car and then he drove back to Maryland or something. Just
You
stopped
said
by,
South
whatever.
Carolina. Come on.
Well, he went to Maryland to pick up another tool and then drove home. So, you know, priorities. If you're going to make a big road trip, you're going to get multiple tools. Let's be real. Speaking of getting multiple tools, that auction we talked about with Jackman, I went to pick up my part of it. I was actually FaceTiming Jackman while I was there. I was like, hey, this
What
is your
happened?
stuff.
What happened?
We went to, I don't know if, you didn't listen to the podcast. That's right.
I don't listen to
Me
the show.
and
It's garbage.
Paul and I did an auction that was in Jersey.
Oh,
So
sweet.
he got a bunch of tools.
You guys went to a
during the
tool auction together?
podcast, it was really weird.
Really annoying. Yeah.
What?
live and in person. We did
Live.
an auction. But I went.
Hey,
I got a.
I can't.
a
Oh no,
bunch
it's
of, like-
happening. Pete, enact code 3. Dan's having a stroke.
I was being an auctioneer.
I know. I'm just joking.
We get it. We
Wait,
get it.
your last guest had a live auction. I'm slacking. Why'd you guys
It's like it.
put
Come
me
on,
here?
Sam. That's fine. You're still in the top 5. You're good. You're good. But so I picked up all the material today. I was gonna rent a truck because it was 5x10 sheets of plywood, but they're 1/4-inch sheets of ply. They're slated for the laser or the CNC. So I was like, screw it. I'm just gonna take my trailer.
Can't
I
you
come
just fold them?
I was thinking about it, but it was very windy, so it'd be difficult. So I ended up cutting 3 feet off of them. So I got like these 7x5 foot sections and 3x5, whatever. So that got loaded up, dropped it off. I kind of forgot, but I also bought in that auction a panel cart so I can move material around my shed really easily. So all the stuff can be stacked, all the plywood on that, and I can move it around real nice. Sam, I use my shed just for wood. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you have
When
you
Mike
have
was
a
like,
garage
I don't know
now.
how to do a shed, a shop tour. It's so awkward. I'm like, yeah, well, get a small ass shed and stick a
Just rotate the
on
camera on a tripod.
and then just be like, this is my workshop.
Try having a shop in a fishbowl.
I'm pretty sure Sam's wine glass is bigger than that shop.
You mean the carafe? Or wine carafe?
Accurate.
So aside from that, so I am not a full blown production shop. I'm going to talk about mental health for a little bit because Sam's on. It's perfect
I
thing.
like it.
Mike is a machine. Dan is also a machine. They're
I'm
both
not.
cranking stuff out all the time. I have a
Dude,
regular
you're
day
ruining my
job.
street cred. People think that I take naps and watch Wicked Tune all
I'm
the time.
sorry.
Stop it.
Dan takes naps. And I'm on the opposite spectrum where I think a lot of our listeners are as well, which is like, I have a day job, but I also like woodworking and making and doing whatever. I like tools. And even though I wasn't completely locked down with work through the rest of the year, when people were asking me for stuff that all of November, starting November 1st, I said, earliest I can do is January. And they'd be like, what are you talking about? It's like 2 months away. I'm like, the earliest I can do is January. Because every single year that I've been doing woodworking for the last 5-6 years, I've said yes to every single job in November, thinking I have plenty of time. I do not. It's all next week is Thanksgiving, which we all know is a week away from Christmas.
Wait, I thought it was 2 weeks from now.
That's what Sam thought.
I thought
Spoiler.
Sam told me it was 2 weeks from now.
I thought
This podcast
my
is
mom was real
So long.
disappointed. Was real disappointed when I was like, "What's the plan for 2 weeks?" And she was like, "What's in 2
You mean
weeks?"
first week in December?
Thanksgiving. She was
We're gonna
like,
be eating
that's in a week."
leftovers. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So-
So spoiler alert, that's a week away.
It's a week
Voice
away. If
maker
you're listening
day.
to it, if you're listening to this, it's probably less than a week away. So I said no to all these jobs because I was still taking on little things here or there. And with everything coming up, I wanted to make sure that I take the second half of December off. I did not want to be in a shop because every single year I am stuck in the shop working all the way up until Christmas to get custom orders out, whatever. If I don't have it by the first week in November, by that craft fair or second week in November, if I don't have it made, you can just choose from what I have made. You are not getting a new item until the next year. And I'm trying to be very firm with that and say no to certain things because it's really easy to burn out this time of the year. And I'm going to hop on a soapbox here for a moment and say, guys, don't burn out. Don't be woodworking in a shop all the way through Christmas. It's okay to say no because spend time with your family. It's the only time of the year that you should really be with your family while everyone else is taking a break. You're in the shops. So take a break, go watch that big tuna or whatever show and enjoy yourselves. So that's kind of been my week. I had a very hard burnout week this week. I took on a lot of stuff and it caught up with me. So that's why I'm talking about mental health this week. That's it. Let's get to questions.
All right.
All right.
Mental health.
First one is from Daniel Taylor.
All right, this is only like the 50th time that I've tried to record this message. Words are hard. Why use many when few do trick? Anyways, what is going on, guys and gal? This is Daniel with Taylor Custom Crafted. I've got a woodworking related question this time instead of for content. My question is, what is your recommendation on a router table for a beginner? I don't have one yet. I'm looking to mainly do roundovers a little bit easier than with my palm router and starting to get in.
Don't know why that happened. Sorry,
All right,
Daniel.
this is
I'll have
only
to
like
replay
the
that, sorry.
50th time that I've tried to record this message.
I don't know why that happened. It
Words
just
are
quit.
hard.
I'll just
Why use many when few do trick? Anyways, what is going on, guys and gal? This is Daniel with Taylor Custom Crafted. I've got a woodworking related question this time instead of for content. My question is, what is your recommendation on a router table for a beginner? I don't have one yet. I'm looking to mainly do roundovers a little bit easier than with my palm router and
Don't know why that's doing it again.
Don't worry about it. We know his question, right?
Yeah, we know his question. Yeah, I put it in there. I don't know why it's stopping. It's really annoying.
All right,
Sorry about that.
give me a pause and then we'll start over. Or not start over. We'll start.
Yeah,
from
I know, I
the
got you.
pause.
Daniel, thanks for the question. I am going to throw it actually over to our Daniel real quick. Daniel, you got a recommendation?
Absolutely.
Beginner router table?
Bro, make your own.
Dang it, you
It
took
is-
my jerk.
I mean, that's what we're all gonna say. It's a great learning experience.
It's such a great one. Build one for yourself.
Rather that be a freestanding router table or one in the wing of your table saw, build your own. Not only will you save money, but you'll gain valuable experience. I think
And
we're all
some
gonna
new
say
friends.
we're all gonna say the same answer. Mike, repeat what I just said.
Yeah, dude, I think you should build one. I built my first one. It was great. It's easy. There's a lot of different videos out there, and it's a ton of fun. It's a good thing to learn.
Oh, yeah.
So, but also, since Dan did just say that, I know there's that Bosch one that's I see on Amazon a bunch. It's like a small Bosch one. I see a lot of people have. It looks like a good little router table too. Like if you don't want to build one, so, it has like a cabinet and everything.
Oh
It's
yeah,
got the
that little Bosch one. Yeah,
yeah, it's got
I've seen the ads
it's like
for that.
the bench top one. It looks like a pretty decent little router table. I don't know. Sam?
That's actually the one I was going to recommend if
Yeah.
he didn't want to build one. I don't know.
Yep.
I'm in a different position because like I with my shed shop was so limited on space. So like it is also a space thing because if you're
Yeah,
gonna
for sure.
introduce a table, like you gotta have a spot for it.
Mhm.
But yeah, the Bosch one was the one I was gonna recommend if building one wasn't an option or was too time consuming.
Pete?
Pete?
I'd say, yeah, build one as well. At the very least, you can get a nice little router plate insert. I think something that's super underrated, because you was asking about like accessories too, is when the router plate comes with a pin to give you like extra
Starter pin?
stability. Starter pin, thank you, for making your cuts. Because sometimes, especially with the smaller stuff, if you're hitting some end grain and stuff, it could really save your butt and help you out a lot. But at least invest in a plate. I had this like Craig plate that I simply just dropped into my originally it was into my workbench, and then I would say build it into your wing of your table saw if you can, or build it into your workbench, because it's going to be something that you're not going to be using all the time. So you can always lower it, and then you just got a regular outfeed table for your or workbench for your shop. So
Lots of options out there.
build it into something that you already have if you're not using it so much that it deserves its own table.
And they're real quick to make. Like I mean, we needed one for the other building for Matt to flush trim all these parts coming off the CNC for the room and board stuff. But I have a base plate that I make for my DeWalt trim routers. It's the same size, and I took that vector and I cut out a file on a piece of MDF so we can drop the plate in there upside down, and we have a flush trim router in this little piece of MDF. So we use that as a table too. I mean, it's just real simple. It's the same thing. But
Yeah.
Anyway.
Also, I want to add on, like, Jay Bates has a really great video on a very, very simplistic router table that you can make that's like a hour build. I don't know the exact name of the video, but he's got it. It's kind of old, but look for it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Next question is from John Grubb. Hopefully it doesn't stop on you, Dan.
Or
Hey,
hopefully
Dan,
it plays.
Pete,
There it is.
probably Paul. For John from Grubmake here. First of all, I'm sorry about Mike. And anyway, moving on. Curious how you guys' holiday setup is going so far. We're all getting to the thick of it here pretty quick. Got a big sale on Etsy coming up tomorrow that I've decided to be a part of. So I'm kind of anticipating a increase in traffic. Just curious how those things are going for you guys, how your Etsy shops are getting set up, if you're part of the sale, if you're doing any extra prep work or anything like that to make that successful this year. Thanks,
I'll
guys.
throw it to Dan.
I'm 100% part of the Etsy sale that's coming up. They were pushing their Cyber Week sale, I believe they called it, but it doesn't start until the 18th, which is, as of today, it's tomorrow. Today is the 17th. So
about 35 minutes for me.
Yeah, I mean, all my Etsy traffic can't be attributed to that sale that's coming up. So I don't know where my Etsy traffic is coming from currently. I really don't. As far as what I'm doing, I'm just plugging away and doing all the things that I've always done, just more of it. And I'm having a real hard time trying to find the time to keep up with everything. I think currently I have 50 orders in my queue, maybe 45 or something like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, it's both awesome and concerning because I can't keep up. So, and then I talked about the craft fair that I'm doing, the local craft fair. I think that's something that I've been wanting to get into. I did it a couple years ago when I was working with the other guy. So this will be the first time I've done it on my own, and I'm really looking forward to that. I talked about how we have a lot of projects, or not a lot of projects, but a lot of cutting board and stuff. But I've been trying to pump out other items that are non-cutting board things, like wine racks and cell phone holders and, just other little tchotchkes. So tomorrow it's going to be the big push to finish all those. So pretty busy over here when it comes to that stuff. Pete, what about you? You're the other Etsy guru here.
Not after your hot streak, but for me, it's just mainly.
It's a roller coaster ride. You can't,
it is.
You can't base everything.
We got like another 2 months, and then it's nice and quiet again, or sad, not nice and quiet. So I've been 3D printing stuff. So most of my shop is 3D printed items. Most of the woodworking, like holiday stuff, like cutting boards, ornaments, things like that, I do by word of mouth and friends and family around here. So I haven't thrown up some more listings. I got to do some more up. And as I'm getting more stuff ready for this craft fair, I'll be adding more listings to Etsy, because I always say anytime you make a project that you think is repeatable, take good photos of the finished project and then, deliver it to your customer. Just list it on Etsy. If you think it's something that you can provide easily, do it. But you want to, I've been kind of setting up processes for the holidays starting like July. Anyone that's like listening back through the episodes knows that I've been talking about like Christmas is around the corner, 6 months from now.
You've been talking about that since July.
Yeah. And like, it's what, like 35 days? No, something like that. Like 30 something, 40, under 40 days, I think, away from Christmas itself. So you want to be ready way ahead of that time, because like I talked about the mental health thing, like you don't want to be woodworking the 4 days leading up to Christmas. Like by the 20th, your shop should be closed. Enjoy your time. Don't spend all that time in a shop. And where I am in Northeast, like I'm freezing my butt off. I don't want to be in a shop. It's cold. It's cold there right now. And I don't want to do extra work in December if I don't need to. I'm insulating my shop. I forgot to mention that. But I've been starting prep. And by prep, I mean, like I had all my boxes picked out. I had all my packing supplies ready. I laid out some plans for things I want to launch.
I forgot all about that. I stocked up on all my packaging.
Yeah, made sure to stock up on that. Anytime I see a sale, I try to stock up on it. I don't like sitting on a ton of inventory, but I'm okay with a little bit of it. So that's why I always have some cutting boards on hand and things like that, because I've gotten into the habit that I make to sell instead of sell to make. So I don't sell something and then try to make it last minute. Around the holidays, I just offer what I have. And if they don't like it, they can look somewhere else. I hate to be so blunt about it, but most of the time people are going to be like, oh yeah, let me just pick from one of those like 5 or 10. You're going to be fine. So get on that. And just set up as many processes as you can and make it as smooth for yourself as possible, because you don't want to burn out around the holidays. Enjoy it. Sam, are you doing any sales or anything that you're prepping for the holidays or content wise?
This is actually the first year that I'm not doing any sort of handmade holiday projects or gifts. I just I didn't have the bandwidth for it. But what I will say is I want to just jump on something you said a little bit there, because sometimes people do better with less options. So sometimes if you are feeling the burn a little bit, then offering less in your Etsy shop is a really good way to kind of force people to kind of choose something if they like your work, but also it avoids that burnout phase on the creator side as well, because then you're not rushing to get all these custom things done last minute. So I don't know. I was always, when I was doing Etsy, that was kind of my thing, is whenever I was doing personalized work, it felt very overwhelming around the holidays. But whenever I was offering more pre-made stuff that I already had inventory for, it just made life so much easier.
Yep. I agree. Mike?
Yeah, I dropped a lot of items and raised all my prices on my Etsy store, because that is a garbage marketplace in my opinion. So
hey,
I hate it there. I hate dealing with the people there. The reviews are stupid. Their opinions on things are dumb. And I just don't really care about interacting. They're for me, they're super low value customers. So I just kind of don't care about Etsy anymore. I raised all my prices on everything, dropped a bunch of items, and I just someone bought it's another a thing of the lowest common denominator over there every single time. They're just such low value customers. They buy something, it says what it is. It says it is not plans. It says it is a file to use on a CNC. They leave me a 1-star review because there's no plans. It's how dumb are you? How are you this dumb of how did you even figure out how to navigate your way to Etsy to buy this thing, to leave a review and not read anything about it and then leave a bad review? It's unbelievable how dumb these people are over there.
It's a lot of customer back and forth. Yeah, I agree on that part.
It's not worth my time for a $9 item. If it's a $40,000 item, then yeah, we'll talk for a couple emails back and forth and get it figured out. But if it's a super dumb item like that, I just don't care anymore. So I just don't have time for those kind of stupid things. So the answer is no, I'm not doing that.
Do you offer those files on your website? Is that the only place you offer those files?
No, I have them on my site. I've raised the price on everything on Etsy because I just don't want to do. I'm just gonna start shuttering that entirely and just offer those things on my site entirely and work on. And I'm
That's
gonna
not where your
invest.
business is anymore. It used to be more
No,
Etsy,
it's
now
just
than
not.
anymore.
Yeah, it's just not. Like, to me, the customer is just such a low value customer there. Like now a customer is a customer who like wants my work and wants to pay a premium for it. Over there, it's like, how cheap can I make this board for? And it's like, it's just a marketplace I don't want to be a part of anymore. So like now I'm like, how expensive can I make this board for? Who's the customer that wants to buy it? That's where I'm at now. So it's just, for me, it's like, I don't want the stress of like 100 orders that are worth $9 each. Like, I just don't want any of that stuff anymore. It doesn't, it's so stressful trying to mentally wrap my head. Like, I have enough stress wrap my head around like 10 big orders. Wrapping my head around 50 tiny orders, it just drives me insane, and I just don't want any part of it anymore. So for me, I'm like purposely trying to get away.
On the flip side, it is a good place, like if you do batch things out throughout the year, to kind of throw them up somewhere.
Oh,
But,
I agree
you
100%.
know,
No, 100%. Like, if that was my, like Pete just said, it's just not my business model anymore. If it was my business model, it's a great way to do it because the SEO is so good. Like, the SEO is so good. The your sales tax is handled. You're gonna get a decent shipping rate through there. There's all these things where it is a super good positive if your business is dialed for that. And if it is, then it's good, and you should absolutely lean towards that. Just because I don't do it doesn't mean that makes sense for a lot of people. I'm just saying, for me and my business model, it doesn't make sense anymore. For me, I don't like selling there anymore. That does not mean it is not a great place to sell items, especially if you're geared for that stuff. If you have a bunch of pre-made items, just like what Sam just said, if you have a bunch of pre-made items, or there's a gal, and I can't remember her name right now, she makes a ton of Disney stuff. She has this thing, and I think she's kind of moved off of Etsy now, but I know she started there. So she's a content creator, but she makes a ton of, and she's got like 30 employees now, and she's crushing it. They make all these Disney things. And what they do is they have a sale once a month, and they have like 400 items for sale. They open up the store at 6 a.m. Everything is sold out by 8 a.m. Everything is sold out, and they'll do like 140,000 in like a day. It's nuts.
Jeez.
And then they do that every couple of weeks or every month or so. And she used to do that on Etsy. And then now she kind of moved all that traffic to her own site and sees all that ad revenue. So but it starts to go beyond that business model. But 100%, like if you're making like a small run of stuff, or even just have a bunch of like stuff pre-made, 100%, it's great. And it
time of the year to like burn through your cutoff stock as well.
Yeah, like I have a whole literally a shipping container full of offcuts, but I have no time to make anything out of it. You know, it's like one of those things. It's like I need to like hire another employee just to like make offcut stuff. And then if I did that, that would make a lot of sense to like do Etsy again. So like, yeah, it isn't smart to just burn that bridge entirely.
You need a tchotchke guy.
Yeah, I need a chief tchotchke officer.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I know that. I mean, Dan's crushing it over there. 10,000 a month is a really solid number to be proud of for sure, and that's really great. Like, it's just so good, and it's probably just gonna get busier over the next few weeks too.
Keep killing it, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
Double it.
Yeah, the next question or next voicemail is from Thomas.
There's one sound that no one knows. What does the
French
say?
Hey guys, it's Thomas. So Mike, how was Pete's closet? Have you found any interesting stuff? Alright, I'd like to ask about sponsorships, but first, Dan, Home Depot, what happened to Menard? Okay, so I guess to get a sponsorship, there is a case of a brand you really like, and you ask them. It's simple. And then there's the case of Red Shadow Legend. Like, what does Alex Steele or Jason from Bob and Moth? I really don't believe they really like NordVPN or the Man Groomer. How do they get those? Is it the company reaching them, or they have a guy or an agency do it for the creator? Also, what does the newbie should expect from a sponsorship? Thank you. Pete, I know there is no Easter egg again this week, but honestly, I didn't have any interesting one. Maybe I don't know. I could just sing the Marseillaise or read the recipe of French baguette. I don't know. Honestly, I'm willing to do it.
Quit slacking, dude.
Sam, I think this question is really in your wheelhouse. I
Yeah.
want to throw it to you first. It's talking about sponsorships. I know you love that stuff. I know you love
I do.
talking
I
about
do.
that stuff.
I love it. So I think like there are a couple of things that were brought up in this question, right? Like being a newbie, getting sponsorships and what to expect, how to find sponsorships, and like basically how to work with brands you love, right? Versus like
Mhm.
brands, you know, that maybe
To pay the
you-
bills.
that pay the bills. So in terms of, let's talk about the newbie thing first, because I think that's a great place to start. If you're someone who is in the content creation world and you're interested in, you know, gaining sponsorships or working with companies, I think one of the best things to do is be organic about it. You know, like if you're sharing content and you're using certain tools that you love, like tag that company, you know, let them know you love their stuff, show them what you're making with your stuff. Eventually the hope is that turns into them kind of recognizing your work a little bit, and then being able to, you know, dive deeper into a partnership that is mutually beneficial for both of you. I know for me, like that's how I started. I was, you know, using a lot of DAP products, for instance, and actually they were the first company to kind of reach out to me and say, hey, we noticed you're using a lot of our products, like we should be paying you for that. And I was like, that's a thing, really? And so, you know,
Awesome.
like, yeah, like that's how I got my first sponsorship. I know that's how there are certain people who get their first sponsorships that way, but definitely, you know, don't be afraid to give some love to brands that you actually love, and see where that kind of takes you. I don't know. That's how I feel about the newbie thing. Do you guys have anything to add to that?
I have none to add. I think that's great insight.
I
Yeah,
always
and-
hear that's called like the courtship period, like court the brand, you know, like get them,
Yeah.
let them know that you know, put yourself on their radar for sure. Like it makes yourself visible to them.
And also like
Right.
talk, maybe if you reach out to the brand to do the work, you want to make sure you're, because keep in mind, there's someone at the other end of that conversation,
Mhm.
whether it's an intern or an agency or an exec at the company or whatever.
It's
Like,
a person.
It's a person. They also don't, they get pitched to all day. Try to make sure that they have the least amount of work and the biggest value add from talking to you. So maybe if you hit them up about a project, they'll be like, hey, I use your products. Give me products for money. That's not going to work. You maybe try, hey, I love your products. It's great. I have this thing coming up. I was wondering if you guys would be interested in maybe sponsoring. I'm working on this. I use your products in this way. I was thinking about doing that. And I have this video planned out. And this is what I was going to do. What are your thoughts? That person basically just has to approve it or decline it or bring it up to whoever you did all the work for them. So make sure you provide a value add if you're really trying to get your foot in the door. And then when you make it to like Sam's level, it makes the conversation a lot easier because you know what value you're bringing. It helps you establish your worth to those people. As the smallest account on this call, like I would say that's my thing that's helped me grow the most with brands as I'm still starting out.
I made a face at Sam's level. I'm like, I don't know what that means.
Stop it.
But no, the other thing I would just add to that, and like I think that's also really great insight. The other thing I would add to that is like, look, you have to understand too, like from a brand perspective, a partnership means that it's mutually beneficial. You're getting something out of that and they're getting something out of that. You know, if you're feeling like, for me, for instance, if I feel passionate about like a particular circular saw brand, like I want to share that with my audience. And in turn, you know, I'm telling that brand like, hey, I love this circular saw. I want to share this with my audience. In turn, like that hopes that they'll love this circular saw too and purchase it, right? Like there's a mutual love there and there's a benefit there for both parties. So like that's something to keep in mind too. Like, do you want to partner with this brand because you genuinely feel like your audience would benefit from this product? Like that's a big thing to think about. Like yes, are there times where people partner with brands that they may not organically use all the time? Sure. But the hope is that like if they hate the product, they're not going to move forward with that sponsorship. The hope is like they find something beneficial in that product that they're sharing with you, right? So I guess that kind of folds into the second part of that question. But yeah, like there are going to be brands that either reach out to you that, or mostly reach out to you that maybe you've never heard of before. But there have been times that I've tried out brands and they're just not a great fit. And I'm not afraid to go back to that company and say, listen, I tried your product. It didn't work for me for these reasons. And therefore, like Shark Tank, where they're like, I'm out. Right. But it's like, this is, so I'm not going to share it with my audience, because if I don't see the benefit in it, I don't see how they can as well. But most times, there are going to be times when you do get sponsorships where you're like, all right, I'll try this thing. It pays the bills. It is pretty cool. I think someone might benefit from it. Like, let's do that. But many times, yes, those are sponsorships that come to you either like directly, or if you work with a brand manager or an agency or something like that.
Super good advice.
Yep.
Anyone else got anything to add?
No, I
No.
think Sam's kind of got that part covered.
Mic drop.
Boom. Boom goes the dynamite.
Don't do that. We need you to talk into the mic more.
Okay.
I'll drop it.
I won't drop my mic. Okay, but I'll keep it right here.
Well, I've got actually good news, because we're done with the show. So I mean, you can actually drop your mic. No, that was the last question. So that was it. Sam.
Yeah, sponsorships.
Thanks for coming on the
cool.
show.
Yeah. Oh no, thanks for having me. This was fun. And I stayed up past my bedtime for you guys, and it was totally worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Atta girl.
Yeah.
That's what we like to hear.
It was a solid decision on your part to agree to do this. We really appreciate you coming on the show. This is really great. Check out Sam on YouTube. She's awesome. Check out her Patreon if you want to, give her some extra support if you want to.
Yes, check out our Patreon.
Yes, it is
check
new,
out...
but we have a cool little community there. I have a Discord going on. We all share pictures of our puppies and our pets, and it's like the best ever. So come
join that Discord.
That's sweet.
Come join my
Well,
Discord.
good luck. It's $300 a month.
No,
Yeah,
I was like, well, first of all, I was like number 1 or 2 to actually sub to the channel.
Yes,
so.
you were. Yes, I
here.
have to recognize that. Thank you very much.
Can't support it.
No, it's awesome. But yeah, no, it's been an awesome little like community there. It's something that
That's so
I'm really
cool.
proud of. And yeah,
That's
it's
cool.
fun. The Discord brings me so much joy. Like I'll just occasionally get a ping from it, and it's like a picture of a puppy sleeping wrapped in a blanket.
I'm gonna be honest.
Like,
I have no idea what Discord is.
I'll tell you when you're
it's
older.
What? It's like a chat. It's like a chat site
room.
or
Yeah,
chat room.
Chat room.
Talking there.
It's an
Like-
AOL chat room, but cooler
It's like
and for young
AIM
kids.
chat room.
Can I change my font to like Papyrus and Comic Sans?
Yeah, you can like list your ASL in there and stuff. So like it's great.
With like a rainbow
Make sure-
color?
Make sure when you type, it's like lowercase, uppercase, lowercase, uppercase.
Oof,
Okay, That's
I've done
how
that
we
once.
really
It
talk
gave
to
me an
each other.
aneurysm.
That's literally how we list a pre-show. It's all.
Oh gosh. Well, this got derailed, but go check out Sam's Patreon. Go check her out on Instagram, check her out on Facebook and TikTok. You're over there on TikTok, right? I mean, you just don't like that place, right? Because it's like obviously it's aspiring ran by China.
It's just like one more thing,
Yeah. It's hard to
And Be Real. She's over there on Be Real.
Check it out. Be Real.
She's a Be Real chick.
I'm definitely never gonna join Be Real. Like that's just not
No,
gonna happen.
same.
She says
Same.
watch and like.
Remember when you said you
weren't?
weren't going to join Instagram? I remember those
Yeah.
days.
Remember when you said
What
you weren't gonna join TikTok?
I'll never leave MySpace.
What was the one that
Oh,
Graz tricked us into joining? Space Hay or something like
Space Hay.
that? So
What?
stupid.
What is that?
Stupid Graz. Don't
Somebody
worry about
remade
it, Sam. It's so dumb.
MySpace.
Yeah. They like
Uh,
recoded MySpace and made it entirely over again, but
And
it's
it was like
called
open
Space Hay.
source. It's
Yeah, it's so
Don't-
It
dumb.
don't
looks
recommend.
exactly like the old MySpace.
Did everybody
Except-
like take those pictures where they hold their phone like 3 feet above their head and take the
It's all-
angles?
wait,
It's all
those are
duct
out of style. I still do.
Oh no.
With like a potato camera.
a
With the flip
razor
phone.
flip phone. Yeah. That's so baller. No, go check out Sam. She's great. You'll like what you see. She does really cool stuff. It's really fun following along with you, Sam. And check out, Dan, Pete, myself. We all got cool stuff coming on. Check out our YouTube channels. Check out the podcast YouTube channel. We really are bad about
But I'm
marketing
over
the
1,000
podcast YouTube
subs.
channel.
I made it.
Oh, nice, dude. Congratulations.
Now
That's
the
a good one.
podcast page is not. What the
Yeah, the
French
podcast
toast?
page is-
Come on, everyone. We're like 50 away.
What
They'll
a
give
sad
away their
state of
love
affairs.
and support if they hit 1,000 subs.
Yeah,
Yes.
1,000, that'd be dope. No, but go check us all out. Give us all some love. We will not be here next week. Next week is Thanksgiving, so we
Oh,
will not have
right.
an episode. And right, Sam, sorry, I didn't mean to break the news. And then the week after that, we have Amanda Russell, Sawdust Woman, will be on the show joining us. And then the week after that, we have Johnny Lambert joining us on the 8th. So we will be back in 2 weeks. Everyone have a great Thanksgiving, and we all hope you have a great time. Happy Thanksgiving. I don't know how to
Happy
get out of this.
Thanksgiving.
You guys
Merry
take
Thanksgiving.
All right, bye everyone. Bye now.
Bye.
Love you long time.
Bye bye.